We got quite a quick day here today. Lots of 2-0s. This is the last match of the day for WGL Summer 2020. We got Remo and ToD on the line, and this is a human versus undead matchup. I'm looking forward to this. Chaemiko versus WFZ. ToD, your thoughts on this?
Are we gonna see the CL? Everybody's thinking the same thing. Are we gonna see it? Is it finally gonna happen? Are we gonna see an Asian undead, the Chinese WFZ, use Papa Roach as Remo calls him, and are the Beatles gonna be only not bad?
Remo, your response?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've heard a lot of chatter that apparently on NetEase they finally started playing Cryptlord. For a long time, he wasn't touched at all by almost anybody. But then shortly before WGL players started, there was some speculation that they intentionally not played for so many weeks to not give the competition a head start, to not give them an idea of how to play against it. And I'm not sure if WFZ is among the players who was practicing the Cryptlord, but normally WFZ is open to the idea of expanding his strategy pool, of playing different styles. So I could see it from him.
Yeah.
But I don't know, he's been playing DK Fiends for so many years, and it's not like DK Fiends does bad against human.
Yeah, it's not. That's the thing. Remember when, like, I've heard the comparison made between Cryptlord and currently and the Keeper patch. But back then, the Keeper was the best thing that you could do by far. Now, is Cryptlord the best thing that you can do by far? In my opinion, it's very strong, but if you play Death Knight Fiend Standard, it's also very, very strong as well. So you don't necessarily have to go for Cryptlord, but I do think it's very strong. Question is, has he practiced it? And it's obviously very different to Keeper in that or at least we don't think it's been trained necessarily a ton on the ladder, like publicly and stuff. So yeah, big question. CL or not? To CL or not to CL? That is the question.
Not for X-Lord. It's very
clear. For the German undeads, yeah, for them, it's not a question for sure.
Yeah, it's very different styles playing DK Fiends or Cryptlord Expo. One is very macro-based, decision-based, which is the Cryptlord. DK Fiends is really straightforward. You know exactly what you have to do. It's basically autopilot. It's all about execution. It's about perfect kiting, perfect attack, splitting your units, finding the right targets, and so on. There's not much thought that goes into it. Maybe that is a determining factor for WFZ. Which style does he like better? How strong does he feel with his mechanics right now? What kind of game does he prefer?
Yeah, you have to think also about how much practice do you think the opponent has gotten against Cryptlord.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really know right now. NetEase, like, none of these guys stream as far as I can tell, at least on Twitch. So
this morning, I saw for like 1 or 2 minutes, Chaemiko was playing a practice game against TGW, who was obviously playing Cryptlord expansion.
Wait, they met on ladder or?
Yes.
Okay, well, then he's played against a certain variation of that build. How did he do?
I didn't see all of it. It was 2-base Echo Isles.
Okay, he probably lost.
It's going to be interesting for sure to see two players who are not in the upper echelon of their race. Chaemiko always flying under the radar, of course, being overshadowed by TH and Infi, sometimes even by Sock. And for WFZ, of course, there's Happy and 120 standing above him. It's really hard to tell what these guys are doing. ToD, how would you rank Chaemiko in a normal human versus undead matchup?
Pretty high, actually. I remember, like, him and Sock, actually, they've had some crazy results. Like, they've beat 120, they've had close series against really good undeads. And in particular, I think with that Nightbreaker flying machine style, I think they're very good at.
All right, we are going into this then.
We saw the vetoes, by the way, and they are a big tell. Maps that we have are AZ, Concealed, and Northern Isles. That's 2 really bad Cryptlord maps. And WFZ vetoes Echo and Terrence.
Well, he's playing Standard.
Yeah.
He's not going to play CL.
All right,
It's
then.
so weird, like the vetoes nowadays in Human Against Undead. Depending.
Did you just cut out?
Todd, are you here?
Oh, I was muted, I think.
All right.
I pressed the wrong hotkey, my bad.
All right. So seems like Chaemiko's stuttering a little, but should be fine now. All right, for WFZ, a lot of Gold League runs have been very, very disappointing. Only one time in 7 participations he was reaching the playoffs. For Chaemiko, it looks a little different. He's a late bloomer when it comes to this. 4 participations, 1-time playoffs as well, but always very close, never eliminated in the first round. And when he was eliminated, it was either in the group stage or by Infi and 1-2-0, which is no shame. Can he finally do the next step and at least force this lower bracket final? For WFZ, judging from his game against Foggy, he doesn't seem to be in great shape or nervous going into this game.
With WFZ, you never know, though. Like, some days he has those standout performances, and this can even vary inside a tournament. In WGL, when I was offline, I can't remember a standout performance by him. But in online tournaments, it has happened quite a bit. There were even small online tournaments that WFZ won. That seems to be a long time ago, though. But, you know, ahead of this group stage, a lot of people were quite hopeful for him. Were thinking he was doing pretty well. Especially that win against Moon led people to believe that. But so far, unfortunately, it has looked like another disappointing WGL for the Undead. But he can still turn it around.
Wasn't he gonna retire like before? Didn't he
Yes.
say something like that?
Yeah, he
What's up
had
with
a pretty weak performance in the team league when it started. And after he lost to Fast, an org player from China that not too many people are familiar with, the Chinese community was really, really rough on him and saying, hey man, you are so bad, you should really retire. Like, it's a shame how you play. But first he said he's gonna retire, and then he practiced like a madman. And after that, he defeated TH and he defeated Moon in the team league. So that criticism boosted his strength in the end. But yeah, I can definitely see the haters coming back if he loses to Chaemiko here now.
The haters. What a great bunch of people.
Yeah. In the Chinese community, it is really, really rough, as we know. But yeah, maybe his fans cheered him up. You know, when there's haters, there's also fans, and his and Yumiko's fan base is not to be ignored either. So
Does he stream a lot, WFZ? Do you know?
I think so. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard this morning in the Instagram show with you and Snowkiss that you heavily disagreed on this match, didn't you?
Yeah, I said Chaemiko is quite a big favorite here, judging from his performances against Undead recently, and Snowkiss favors WFZ.
Why? Because China #1?
Because Undead Greater Human. That was the #1 reason.
No, don't say that
She
too loud.
knows what she's talking about. But yeah, the map's like very interesting. I wonder specifically like how like the reasoning, you know, like you either have maps where Creep Lord is great, or where facing standard Undead style will be very difficult. You know, like Twisted Meadows and all of that. So, but yeah, it's been the same for me. Like in the Meisterschaft, I never really know what to veto. So if I play like Creep Lord players, like you'll see me veto like Echo Isle because it's like so easy to expand and it's like long rush distance, like yesterday, for example. And then I'm almost happy to be playing on Twisted Meadows. I never thought I'd say that, but I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of hard to expand, right, for a Creep Lord on Twisted Meadows. Yeah, let's play on that. So it's really all over the place right now with the Creep Lord meta in terms of vetoing or even playing against Undead. But it does seem like most Undeads, they have like one style or another that they play, but they don't really switch back and forth between one or the other, depending on the maps too much.
Yeah. Speaking of vetoes, Chaemiko vetoing LR, and I don't think that's because of Cryptlord really. Kind of surprises me. I feel like this early game, like with the Footman pulling in the Murloc camp, you know, when the Undead is creeping the High Priest, usually works out pretty well, and then the Expo is easy to creep. Is it that panic, that fear of the Merc camp running in and the Murlocs, everything being pulled, stuff like that?
Yeah, it could be. Sometimes you have a couple rough games in a row on Last Refuge, and it feels like it's the worst map of all time. You know, like your opponent finds one of Illusion a bunch of times, the creep grow from everywhere, and then it's like Leroy Jenkins. So it's yeah, you don't want that to happen. It could be like it's hard, or it can be hard sometimes against Standard, and it also can be hard against Crypt Lord. So why not veto it if you don't feel confident on it?
Well, we finally do have our game after a little bit of a break. It is WFZ versus Chaemiko fighting for survival. We have Alice eliminated, Linguagua, X-Lord, and now one of the two. Will it be the second undead or the first human? That's the question right here. Boys, take it away.
Wait a minute, is that a fast crypt? No. Okay. I was worried for a second about Papa Roach, but no, we're not gonna be seeing it here. Standard build on both sides. Chaemiko very, very likely gonna be going for an AM here, whilst WFZ Ted Fiend build order with a DK. And then this matchup is pretty much set in stone, right? Fast expansion, trying to get to nice gyros, undead pushing, and we'll see who does it better.
You think it's fast expansion for sure from Chaemiko?
Yeah. Why? What have you seen?
Well, we've seen quite a bit of like one base rifle with like tier 3 or expansion on tier 2, but usually like castle tech, which also can be very strong because then you can creep the granites very quickly. It feels like if you're willing to play fast expand in this position, you basically say, well, the early game will decide who wins. Like by the time the Death Knight is done harassing at the expo, you will know who has won the game pretty much.
Yeah, Chaemiko for a while, he played a very interesting style. He played fast expansion, and then tier 2 tech, of course, double racks, mass rifles, and then defending at the expo. That seemed to work for a little while, until 1-0 seemingly found the answer with a Naga third, and then was able to snipe out the rifles really quickly. Since then, I haven't seen Chaemiko play that style so much yet, since. But this is WFZ. This is not the same level of player that 1-0 is. Might be worth considering that playstyle against this undead.
Yeah. I think WFZ though is, in my opinion, pretty good with standard against Expo. Like he seems to know exactly what it is he's supposed to do. Like it feels like sometimes he's overrated, but sometimes also underrated. Like it's kind of hard to tell. Like on the top of the undead race, you always have Happy and 120, but after that, it's kind of up in the air. And it does feel like maybe sometimes he's been inconsistent, but when he's on his A game, I definitely look at his games against human. I'm like, okay, well, this guy is actually really scary against humans. So yeah, gets a snipe on the footman here. Didn't quite get the creep and the item, but I think he wants to be in position to pressure the expo if there is the attempt, which is not there so far.
Interestingly played by Chaemiko. The footy follows the DK around, willingly sacrificing himself in order to prevent experience on the Death Knight, and then the AM and the other footies shark around the map, again trying to find this DK. Prioritizing, preventing him from creeping. Is he really gonna attack? No, 4 farms, that has to be an expo.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, he's pulling it just at the start of day, of nighttime, actually. If you let knights get there before you pull, sometimes you get ensnared, and it's not a good time.
And it's pretty cool, this opening. Like, this DK didn't find many kills yet, but it's a bunch of skeletons over here. Misses the coil, like, by a lot. That was not very close.
He has no more charge of Rod of Necromancy either. I think the first Fiend is almost there. The skeletons are really not doing much. They're just chasing a footman right now. Like, this RS really hasn't been good. Death Knight is 1.2.
Yeah, this is a horrible early game for WFZ. This Footman Scout started this all, preventing the creeping on the DK as much as he could. Level 3 AM versus level 1 DK. That's a complete disaster for WFZ.
This is a flashback to the game I always refer when I talk about, like, when I played against X-Lord in like 2000.
Oh yeah, I remember, dude. That was a sick game.
Wait, you saw that game?
Yeah, totally.
Wait, what? Really?
No, I'm kidding.
I was like, what? I remember, yeah, so there was a tournament, like he always gets rustled when I tell this story too. There was like a tournament like at Cbit or something, and I had to play against Sextord on like one of the booths. It was like the finals of a tournament that I'd been playing online prior. And I remember Echo Isle, I got Archmage level 3 and his Death Knight was level 1 with 0 XP dead in the altar.
Oh,
He always gives me shit because I keep telling that story, but it kind of reminded me of that just now.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's honestly not much better either. Okay, DK got the last hit with the coil. It's level 2 finally. The aura changes everything. But DK is low HP, low mana. Chaemiko, he lost no peasants this game. He lost at most 1 footy. Lumber is looking okay. Once he's got the gold here from the expansion, he's going to be able to get to tier 2 quickly.
He might not even need a
pressuring
Shredder.
Fiends.
With how good he's doing and not losing peasants, he might not even need to get a Shredder in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at the resources. There we go. Finally had enough for the tech, and there it starts. Tier 2 on the way for Chaemiko. And now what he wants to do is keep up pressure, delay from or distract from his expansion as much as possible, and buy time for the MK to come out. That's a weird looking expo. Is that too far away?
Wait, oh, the tunnel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say actually. Okay, he might still need Shredder. Yeah, look at his amount of peasants. You can definitely cut quite a few peasants that you're gonna have to make on the expo by buying the Shredder, so I still think it would be beneficial.
There was a good Nova right here trying to catch up, but Chaemiko moves the footman away. Okay, a lot of attention to this footman though. Saves himself for a little bit more. Oh boy, is he chasing for a long time for this one footman?
Does he have defend coming is the question.
Yeah, maybe not yet. Usually you want to get to a good amount of footmen first, and I think he didn't have the wood, especially if he wanted to go for Shredder, so you might have to delay that sometimes. The tier 3 of WZ was delayed though, because he made Lich and he made the Slaughterhouse first. So for a long time I saw that he was kind of stuck on tier 2.
He's getting nothing done, right? Like one footman kill at this stage of the game when Nova should be really strong, and we haven't seen defend yet. This is looking solid for Chaemiko to me.
Yeah, this is really good. This is an outstanding early game. This is way better than you usually can expect. And this is WFZ getting surprised by being harassed early. Normally, when you start the bottom right, like creeping on this map, the bottom right trolls, you're always left alone. But Chaemiko anticipated this and harassed this. And this was perhaps the first time WFZ ever got harassed there. Maybe not, but it's certainly rare to happen. And since then, everything was derailed. His harass was bad, his leveling was late, his pressure never came, and it's a beautiful SimCity wall-off at the expo.
Yeah, we know what to expect from WFZ. It's going to be a pit law third, and he's going to pressure a lot, basically every single time. I'm guessing Chaemiko will harass with a Zeppelin, but the question is, what units does he go for? Does he play that Infi style with a double workshop, where you get a bunch of tanks? Yeah, all he has to do with the Zeppelin is wait for WFZ. Every time he leaves the base, he can drop. And he can just kind of keep him at home by just staying there with that.
And when you see the state of the game, you're like, oh, human can, do well. Look at this. They're threatening counterattack. But it's never supposed to get to that state. DK is supposed to get level 2 quickly, then Fiends pressure, Lich comes in, statues come in. There's always stuff dying at the expansion over and over. The human can never afford to go out. But if all that doesn't happen, if the Ana doesn't play that well, and doesn't have that good of a game, suddenly lots of options open up for the human.
Wow, he's actually going for it, even despite WFZ being there. Yeah, like I said, on a map where it's hard to expand, it's all about the early game, and now Chaemiko had like the most amazing early game. It's very hard for him to lose after that, unless he really messes up. I'm not sure what this attack is about. It did prevent a little bit of mining time, but you don't want to be feeding Death Knight level 3 that quick, so I think he's going to end up having to TP out in a sec, even though, oh my god, he's preventing a lot of mining time.
Nova. Oh, Coil was arriving. That was kind of scary for a second. But TP out loses another footman, and all of a sudden Chaemiko down to 37 on the way to tier 3.
I think his hope was getting value out of the footies while you can, because once the Undead has 50 supply, triple hero, footmen just melt.
Yeah. That's +2 attack for the rifles that he started? It kind of look like +3. But yeah, it looks like it's just gonna be a somewhat standard tier 3 with what I'm guessing is gonna be workshops here down the line from Chaemiko. It doesn't have that many towers. Sometimes in this kind of game, if you get a little complacent and you don't get enough towers, you can definitely get busted once the pit lord gets there or destroyers enter the field. So he needs to be careful.
Needs to be careful, bro. Dude, calling over there would have been scary.
Maybe Mountain King is next. No staff yet. Also no third hero for WFZ yet.
Oh, he's playing the Breaker Flying Machine style. I think when it's like that, you're better off just remaking the altar on your expo. Actually, wood-wise, Chaemiko is not doing too well. He already made the first lumber upgrades.
Oh, the Lich.
What
Going
is-
deep.
What?
What? Quick trap with
Oh
the
my
farm
God.
block. Whoa, massive mistake from WZ. He can fight out, but this is costing him. Oh, he's still blocked!
Oh,
God,
Chaemiko with the plays. Oh boy, this poor Lich. There's an invul. Going for that now as well. Calling the Mountain King to put some more pressure on him. But yeah, he's still stuck.
The fans are gonna be nasty.
Yeah.
You can't let that happen. The haters are watching. Oh my god.
Yikes. That's the Lich down.
Yeah. The carry hero died like this. What was he doing there in the first place?
He was... I think he was right-clicking and then Lich got aggroed by the towers maybe. It was certainly not intentional.
And now, I mean, even the altar is not even being threatened, so he didn't even have to remake that. So now he just gets Pala, and to be honest, on this map, the Expo just has so much gold. Like, it's gonna be super easy for Chaemiko to get to like 70 or 80 supply now, and then just fight after that. He can even save a bit of gold before that. He's just infinitely ahead. He's gonna get orb and stuff.
Did you see that? He already had an Ultra at the Expo. He was anticipating it to fall.
He had what?
The Ultra at the Expo. There it is.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Dude, still
now he has a
walking out.
backup altar.
Creeping now without a TP by Chaemiko though. Why is he doing this? He's got easily the gold for a TP.
Well, maybe the chance for WFC to jump on this, but the Paladin is out there as well. This army is so poor, like it's one breaker, and of course a couple of gyros somewhere.
I guess when there's no Lich, a creep jack isn't that scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, having staff there, you can definitely fight and stuff out whatever is being targeted and then just kind of disengage. It's not like you have to worry about something like Ensnare or whatever. Like, the only thing that's really gonna slow you is gonna be the Nova, but like you said, there was no Lich for a moment, and you see Chaemiko is saving gold here. He's staying on less than 50.
Yeah, that's so nice for the human when you have that comfort to get upgrades at 50, bank a little, and then go into supply later. Normally, you're supposed to be under more pressure. When Happy is playing against you, you don't have this luxury.
Yeah, because you're losing everything, and you need to make units to survive.
I really like this Expo build, by the way. So hard to reach these towers.
Ooh, and
3 destroyers, yeah, that's pretty much all in here. If you're gonna make 3 destroyers like this, you need to win shortly after that. Does he have web?
yes, he does. One gyro to the ground. One fiend falls as well. That's the first real attack to this Expo. It's pretty.
What the hell was this?
What's that rain of fire, dude?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
Actually, that's bad. You're supposed to save that.
It's still a strong undead army, though. That's always the thing. Even if your early game doesn't go well, if you get 50 supply or even more with triple hero tier 3, still always a strong army.
It's gonna commit. He still has TP, so even if he goes inside of that base, he could TP out if he's really in trouble.
It's all about the mana here, about the coils, how much healing there is. TK has at least one left. I think he's actually got 2. While the MK doesn't have too many Stormbolts. Stamp on the Pally gets him out.
He could just go in, and then put his pit lord between that blacksmith and the shop. Knight's going to town on fiends now, and as those die more and more, this is going to be really bad for WFZ.
takes out a knight now, but it's always so much effort. He's trying to play around it with the frost armor, which is pretty nice. But focus fire ends up on the lich. Will he die for the second time? There comes a knight. No block, though. Fiends are falling left, right, and center. Good gyros damage against the destroyer, man. WFZ is just getting torn apart here. Huge supply lead. Oh, nice dodge with the invul, though.
Get wrecked!
Remo's so brutal. Remo's so toxic.
I think once he went for triple destroyer, he had a very short window during which this could work. Because obviously Chaemiko is going to be cranking out so many flag machines to counter that. And he's getting, like, he had a bunch of golds, clearly. So he was getting knights, breakers. He was always going to get more supply. But WFZ needed to get on top of those peasants on the expo, shut down that economy entirely, and then just try and take a good fight. Like I said, like, you could have put the pit lord between the shop and blacksmith, and it would have been very hard for Chaemiko to actually fight properly against that.
Yeah, WFZ, what now? What's the play to get back into this game? 2 base, 1 base. Not the craziest hero levels. 2 fiends parked in the back. I wonder for how long.
Wait, did he misrallied fiends, or is that on purpose?
Works against the Zeppelin, I guess, but...
One will be enough, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not intentional.
Nope. 6 supply.
Hey, WFZ not having a good day so far.
Oh. Okay, the Chaemiko surrounds needs a little help with this, but... Level 3 MK. This is where the hammers really start to hurt.
Yeah, and this is where this Knight of... human army also gets into full swing. This Knight's gyro strat can be really good if you do survive, if you do get the numbers, if you do get the hero levels and reach like 70 plus supply. The issue is always getting there. But Chaemiko now is there. And with that should be able to take a very good fight.
72 supply to 57, he comes in. Yeah, having abominations is nice, but the lich!
Just getting shredded, man. Sick. Stormbolt right clicks us just so much. He can't web against all these gyros. The pit lord is in a world of trouble and just dead. Wow. There's no hope for Chaemiko in this fight. For WFZ in this fight. Good at focus fire. The abomination is falling as well. Just one target after the next that is falling. Has to use coil and Nova to get rid of one knight, but there's so many more. Stormbolt right clicks, and now there's no coil no more. He has a mana potion, can't consume that. He's trying his best to just somewhat stay alive, but it feels like this game is absolutely unwinnable.
Yep. At this point it certainly is. Down more than 20 supply. Oh, sweet surrounds by Chaemiko towards the end. Shows us what he can do. And that's quite a bit. Great play by Chaemiko. Now he's in the A-click territory.
He's styling so hard on him now with all the surrounds and stuff. That's what he's known for.
Guys, I bet 3 gold on WFZs on Warcraft 3 info.
Oh, damn.
That's what you get for betraying your race, man.
What a waste.
Still 2 more maps, right? We'll see.
Well, considering how he played this game, I'm not too optimistic things will pick up for him going forward, but we'll see. But yeah, this is over.
Chaemiko is going pretty ham here.
And now the 2 fiends are coming in.
Hey!
They were resting for the entire game. They can go full throttle now. Throw out their webs. Man, how good would these fiends have been against the gyros, by the way? That would have prolonged the uptime of the destroyers quite a bit. This pit lord is a little suicidal over there.
That block from the MK, man.
Yep.
Super sweet.
Yep.
And the pit lord is dead again. Back to the pit.
Somebody in the chat said, I hope Blizzard employees are watching this scene by human winning against 2 forgotten fiends in the back of the base.
Okay, we're waiting for the next hammer. That should be the rest in peace then. Is Chaemiko actually running away? He has 1,000 gold. This is just torture.
Oh, got the knight. Moral victory.
Alright. Level 3 Water Elementals doing not too much anymore. Level 3 Lich, alright. Level 5 Archmage now, of course. Close to level 4 Mountain King.
Watching this makes me sad that X-Lord didn't get to play against humans. Because I think he's so good against human.
Yeah.
Like, he would have been able to do way better than this for sure if he played Chaemiko, for example.
Yeah, certainly an unlucky draw for him in Group C.
Damn, WFZ is actually gonna try to win this, huh?
Never give up. Always try to fight somehow.
And I thought I stayed long in my game yesterday with my 2 heroes.
I was about to say it, dude.
What item would he need here?
Katka's Pipe.
I think he needs 3 items. All the auras.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Pipe might be one of the best ones that maybe you could get.
A little bit of damage here with the command aura. Alright. Chaemiko. He's not taking any big risks, right? He's just chilling, soaking up the map, getting some items.
Yeah, he's 5-4-4.
Yep.
Chaemiko got endurance, oh my god.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty good.
These knights are going to be so fast.
Alright, Scourge Bone Chimes right here, boys.
Rune braces.
Damn. And
Yeah.
there ends my amazing predicting of items.
God damn, Remo. Why are you even here?
Everything must come to an end.
He's trying to get a second gold mine now.
Chaemiko is rubbing his hands together, being like, oh yeah, give me that fight.
80 supply against 50.
Oh, we didn't have Disease Cloud up until now, actually.
Yeah.
I really like the build on the Pally. 2-1-1. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I guess you don't need more than 1 level Divine Shield, right?
Yeah, especially in this game, where you're far ahead.
Yeah. 1 kill here, we go for the Lich. And if this hero falls for the second time, then it's definitely GG. Invo Potion, though, very, very early. But how do you fight a 25 supply lead with this army? Must be some sick upgrades as well. Lich gets another hammer to the head. He can throw all the coils he wants.
The Rain of Fire! He kept on using Rain of Fire and nothing in the back. Oh my god.
Okay, Lich falls. DK level 5, but that won't save him. Good last second coil right here, but it's just one hero focus after the next, even using Holy Light aggressively. Sweet block with the Water Elemental. Chaemiko styling and profiling to the 1-0 lead.
Alright, WZ, this is the time.
It's a fantasy GG timing.
Here we go. Oh, that was brutal. WFZ is having no fun this tournament.
Yeah, that was very, very, very one-sided. But, you know, when he played against Foggy, first game, he got also completely trashed. In the second, he had a pretty competitive game in the second map, so perhaps he's going to be doing better there.
I just hope his cat doesn't jump on his desk now.
I don't think he has one, does he?
I'm not sure. I would say that WFZ is more of a little dog kind of guy.
Why?
I don't know, it just comes across like one. Like a little chihuahua or something?
Don't you think all the undeads are more of like cat person?
Yeah, usually they are, that's true.
Generally, yes. But I mean, he has a little child, so that is enough to take care of, I suppose.
The child is in Germany, right?
Yeah, makes it even harder, you see.
We got 2 donations during the series, by the way. The Containment Unit, €10. Keep up the great work, guys. Love from the States. And Battle912 with a $50 donation. Thank you very much. Sending love from the US. Keep up the good work. Man, US supporting us a ton. Thank you, guys.
Much appreciated, guys. Thank you, thank you.
I'm actually amazed at the amount of good items that have been dropped already in this tournament. It feels a little bit surreal. It's like, you know, PUBG, if you play ranked, the loot is like much better.
Oh, dude. Do I have some juicy news for you? You know, W3 Champions Season 2 is starting on Friday.
Yeah.
There's a new map. And
I know about the Crown of whatever.
Ah, damn. How do you know?
Somebody told me. It's pretty sick, actually. I'm very happy about it.
Oh, really? I thought you were gonna flame me like so many others.
No, not about the map, but about the item.
Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. We're gonna see. Did you test the map yet?
No.
Yeah. We're gonna find out how it is soon. All right, we have the next map. What was the map choice? Concealed Hill. Pretty standard unit pick. Hard human expansion with poison going around everywhere can oftentimes be a nightmare. How crazy is that, considering what we're used to seeing nowadays in this matchup, that 0 peasants died at the expansion? That never happens anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know what's going on with WFZ today, but he's not playing very well, clearly. Like, first, this harass was like the worst I've ever seen on the Expo. Then the Lich went on a little bit of a track inside of the human base and died. And then after that, he had like misrallied Fiends. He's not really feeling it today, is he?
Not so far. And the hopes were so high after WGTL. But WZ has always been an inconsistent player, and yeah, the level that he's showing here these last few days is definitely not the same of the team league.
Yeah, hopefully he can hit the reset button now. He absolutely needs it. Can't have another early game like this. Not at all.
Chaemiko was very solid though, on the other hand. I feel like maybe it's easy to focus on the mistakes of the undeads, in this case WFZ, and say like, what is he doing? But it's Chaemiko is the one playing solid and like defending everything perfectly and doing all the right moves and doing very well.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. He played this really, really well. But still, if WZ had played better, this would have been a closer game.
But it's cool to see that Chaemiko is not getting overconfident from a leading position. That's what we've seen a lot, like the last 2 WGLs, I think. If a player that doesn't have the experience like a Moon or a Lin, they get the lead and they try to win the game from that little lead on. I feel like these top tier players learned a lot to not do that mistake anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's a mistake we see made rarely nowadays. It's a lot in general. Also, the meta feels like, not necessarily this matchup, but a lot more late game focused. We see so much 2-base nowadays. Lots of tier 3 as well. Fly versus Infi today was a good example. Whereas in the past, you know, Orc Human was always just fight on one base and see who wins.
Alrighty, we're getting into map number 2. Hopefully WFZ, that would be another horrendous WGL. He could end up with 0-4 now and being eliminated last place alongside X-Lord, Linguagua, and Alice. Chaemiko,
And if he's watched any WGTL broadcast, he would know that you're gonna repeat that 1,000 times like the UMAD record, so we don't want that.
I repeat his good performance during the team league, though. So I just like repeating things a lot,
Yeah,
whether it's good or bad.
me too. I'm gonna tune into every Creepjack from now on and talk about these games as well.
Yeah, I definitely deserve that for sure. Okay, let's see if WFZ can turn his tournament run around. He's up against the ropes. He's about to be eliminated. Chaemiko punching for the lower bracket final against Foggy.
Yeah, the map actually looks pretty good. Are we slightly zoomed out, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I like
true.
that. When are we gonna get that on BNets?
There's some certain tools, you know?
Yeah. It's so funny. The Necropolis looks really small on this.
Yeah.
With the zoom.
After this, we have to cast ESL Meisterschaft, of course, and it's so strange when you open Warcraft, like how different it is from this clean feed.
Yeah.
Just another world.
Wait, what? I thought you were using the same quenching mod.
Yeah, but I don't have a zoom out.
Ah, you mean just because of the zoom?
Yeah, And the colors are still different because this is a stream and it's different from seeing it in game.
That makes sense.
Why do humans wall off completely against undead?
So you're saying you shouldn't do it?
Well, you don't need to close it. It's like, what's gonna happen? The Death Knight is gonna enter your base and then like just smash everything.
It might
You
be
could
for
close the door
game.
behind him.
Like, it is dangerous if the unit is on tier 3, you know, the tier 3 push, and then there's an opening in the base and there's not enough towers and the fiends go in and he cracks it. You call militia, but Nova kills them all. I think there it can be dangerous. But yeah, for the early game, it doesn't really matter. Or might perhaps help you to have it open.
I guess like it doesn't really affect you in a bad way either. It's not like you're gonna be stuck inside of your own base. It's not like Archmage is gonna go low and then have to run inside either.
Again, the aggressive footy. I like that a lot. He's willing to sacrifice it to put more damage on the undead side to delay him. Infi did this especially insanely well against Happy back then. He was able to somehow creep so fast that by the time the DK was coming, the expansion was already finished. Or, you know, the creep was finished and the exile was coming up.
Yeah, sometimes after you do the first camp that Chaemiko did, instead of doing the small turtles at the bottom, if you see that the Death Knight is there and attacking your footmen, you can go straight for the Expo because it's very fast. But in this game, Chaemiko still delayed the creeping of the Expo. He's not gonna wait until it's night though. He goes right in there. I guess he knows that the Death Knight is still taking time to finish that first camp on the other side of the map.
He's gonna get level 2. Yeah, he's gonna get level 2, he's gonna get more out of Necromancy, and then he's gonna harass with the level 2. And that is the dangerous thing, where we've been seeing a lot of peasants dying over the last few weeks, months. Protecting them now is gonna be really tough.
There's too many critters on the map, that's the problem.
Concealed, by the way, Chaemiko's weakest map in this matchup. Only 46% win rate. Oh, and Last Refuge, but apart from that, okay, second weakest map then.
Oh my god, more critters.
Oh,
Jesus.
Ooh, that's rough now.
A lot of skeletons. So the perfect scenario here is kill all the peasants and kill the arcane. Can he do it? You want to split your skeletons, have like be like attacking 3 peasants at the same time. Oh yeah, that's a lot going down.
Okay, that's how this early game is supposed to be. WFZ comes into this map prepared. Lots of units. There's another coil. There's another kill. Skeletons are slowly falling, but there's another charge of 2 more charges of Rod of Necromancy.
Oh, look at that block though! Oh, sweet! Protecting one of those peasants. And that, I mean, you know, some peasants went down, but it wasn't that bad. Almost gets the surround.
How many peasants did he lose? Like 4? 5?
I think it was 5 or 6.
Yeah, that's good because this really puts a dent in the wood economy of the human from there. Like we can see, he already doesn't have too much. It delayed the actual tunnel finishing. And it's very hard to be able to go to the lab, creep that, and get a Shredder here. Because if you do that, you might still be pressured on your Expo, and then you lose your Arcane Tower, and then the floodgates are open, so... we're looking at a very different game here than what we saw on Amazonia, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe a little confidence boost for WFZ. Finally an early game going his way.
Yeah, if playing Undead wasn't enough, this might help.
I guess he needs this little mentality boost, a little bit of momentum.
And now it's always the weird position for the human, what to do. Does he go creep, try to go level 4 quickly, like Infi sometimes does? Does he try to play aggressively against the undead base? What kind of chance of being successful does that have?
Yeah, I think you just creep a little bit here to get Death Knight closer to level 3. He's 2.8 right now. And then once you have the Pit Lord is really when you need to be across the map attacking. Chaemiko actually built his tunnel on the right side at the Expo. That's interesting. Like some humans, they put it on more on the bottom sides, but now that makes it very awkward in terms of like where does he place the towers, how does he build the wall at the front. And sometimes if you make a lot of towers to make sure you're safe, the undead can just kind of sit there and attack the town hall also. And rain of fire on the peasants.
He's pushing across the map now. Has 2 Novas to use, 1 coil still. DK is extremely close to 3.
Yeah, this push is designed to cancel the guard towers going up.
And the footies can't quite keep up. No aura for them. And I don't think there's defend yet.
No,
And he's not getting towers, by the way.
Yeah, this doesn't look too good for Chaemiko for sure. This Nova hit hard. He's killing another footman there. On the way to tier 3. Level 3 for the DK. Not a bad push at all.
So usually if you don't get many towers, it means you want to play either rifles, or in this case I think it's gonna be he's gonna rush the same style as he did last game, just with less towers, and instead prioritize making units.
We see the defense coming now, but yeah, the footies have been taking a beating already. No towers in the main yet. Very annoying against these skeletons.
Damage done. Needs to call militia again, cutting into lumber again. Another roll of necromancy. No, he's out of skeletons now.
Where are the statues, by the way?
Yeah, maybe one is coming now. But that looks really late.
Yeah, they're definitely late.
Now 2 fiends are hurt. Has to retreat. There's the first one.
Tier 3 close to done. This game is not looking bad for WFZ at all. Chaemiko definitely struggling this game. Lumber is also really low. Rushing tier 3, MK and Sanctum is not going to be a thing this game.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he built a very effective wall at the expansion. I think there's only one of the buildings blocking. So yeah, it's going to be very hard against the Pitlord push. Especially if the Pitlord can rain of fire outside of range of the Arcane Tower onto like something like Peasants. Ooh, the ensnare.
Pressuring the statues here, but the AM is not a very tanky hero. Needs to be careful. Boots certainly helping him out here. 3 statues before Destroyer form. With that, you can go for a big bust.
He's gonna go for it. Chaemiko made masonry before getting the lumber upgrades, so his wood is still gonna be affected by this. Oh, he improved the wall a little bit at the expo, but you see like the 3rd tower on the right side still might not even be shooting if one of the first 2 is being attacked. Chaemiko's kind of rich actually.
Alright, can he do more damage without the Pit Lord, without tier 3 yet? Could he use this time a little better by creeping? Or is this necessary to push, or to continue the push?
Yeah, I think he has to go for the towers now, before there is more, but it's kind of it's scary like to see this many footmen behind. But there was no MK yet, so supposedly he should be able to take out the towers and then just kind of dominate in that area.
Now we got the Destroyer. Hope he got backpack, not sure. MK is coming. But can he really reach these towers? Doesn't look like it. No Pitlord on the way, so he switches targets, takes a couple of footmen out. But this doesn't really feel so scary.
Yeah, I don't know why he's so hesitant. He could have just absorbed mana, morph a second Destroyer, absorb mana again, and then kill this, at least kill the Arcane Tower. And then bring a Pitlord and start using Rain of Fire on those peasants. But if you morph small Destroyers, you won't have the supply free to get a Pitlord as well. WFZ, look at his macro. What is going on?
600 gold. And yeah, he doesn't have the supply. And is not going for a Pit Lord. Instead, trying to bust this 1 mana Destroyer. There, little Dispel, a little more mana. So the Arcane is gone, actually, just like you said. But mana on the Lich is gone, so he can't follow up with another Nova.
Chaemiko's buying time for tier 3. And the problem is his lumber is still really low. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a workshop yet. And he's also kind of close to supply blocked.
Okay, he just bought the Pit Lord, and there is no Arcane Tower, so he can just spam Rain of Fire. And this time he's gonna have way more.
Oh, the Pit Lord gets surrounded by Deepin, Footman, and the MK.
Oh,
He was waiting for that. Okay, there is a reaction by WFZ now, but that takes pressure off of the expansion, and cool play.
But no lumber for Chaemiko.
Was important in the end to take out the Arcane. That's nice. He can play a very good game from here. Tier 3 is coming okay. Gyros are coming as well. But these Rains of Fire, they're nice. And once the shop is gone, then floodgates are indeed open.
And no more breakers. Queue them quick! I don't think you queued too many.
Yeah, the Death Knight has so much mana as well.
Shreds through this expansion like it's made of butter.
If you're Chaemiko here, it feels like you can't fight this, so you go creep instead. But if you lose the Expo, you're still in big trouble, because after that, WFZ can just go and creep the fountain. He can go to center and do that as well. You won't even be necessarily creeping very fast either. As Chaemiko, look, his army is like pretty small.
Yeah, he also has no lumber at all to build something big. 60. Can't really go from there. Okay. MK with a big mana potion. That's nice, but will it bring him back? I doubt it. 20 supply. Crazy to see how one-sided this game is now compared to AZ.
Yeah. It was completely different early. It was like 6 peasants dying versus 0 peasants dying. DK being stuck on level 1. And honestly, I think playing this map over LR is not a wise choice for the human. I'm sure Chaemiko has his reasons, but...
Yeah. Chaemiko win rate on Last Refuge 36%. On Concealed 46.
But on LR at least, the DK doesn't creep level 2 right away and harasses your peasants, which are all poisoned.
Yeah, but the mercenary camp is getting Leroy Jenkins into your units. You can't have everything. $64 supply to 44.
Yep. Still 1,000 gold to work with. Heroes aren't that crazy yet, but that's about to change. We're gonna get Cleave, we're gonna get Nova too. DK is already in a very good spot. Chaemiko is nowhere near punishing this. Oh, this is big level ups right now.
And a big item.
Yeah.
Man, this Undead army is scary.
Feels like Chaemiko can't get rid of his gold, really. Banking now, of course, kind of forced to, with one base only.
Yeah, I think the goal might be he should try and save for a little bit and then try to get to like 70 supply or something. With higher level heroes, he finally pulled back, I think, the Archmage. So leveling the Pala and just the Mountain King as well.
Yeah, honestly, the fact that WFZ is letting Chaemiko creep so much is a big tactical error. You have absolute map control. You should not be allowing this.
Yeah, but he's already on the other side of the map. Imagine you run across the map and you get there when he just finished the big camp. And then he just TPs out. And then he runs to the fountain that maybe you could have done yourself. I think it's okay because... in the sense that as long as he gets to like 70, 80 himself, because of the way he's ahead in hero levels, it's gonna be alright. Yeah, it feels like a tough choice. I don't know. To me, it's not necessarily like super black and white, like he should have run across the map and fought necessarily.
I would have preferred to see it, because this human army... the thing is, this human army needs hero levels to support it. It needs MK3, ideally Pally 3, whereas the Undead army is fine on low levels, and he already had okay levels. And the MK is now level 3. Rest TP's out. I think Chaemiko kept most of his units alive. And the Pally is close to 3 also.
Yeah, you see the way this just went down. This is probably what WFZ was worried about in regards to like getting in there. Human finishes the camp, then TP's out in the last second. And then if there had been big camps left on the right side of the map, do you have time to actually run there and prevent the human to do it? Possibly, but if you get it wrong even just slightly, this could be you getting behind and maybe throwing the game.
Oh, it's gonna get one knight. Thanks to the end snare.
$51 supply, Chaemiko, what are you doing? Kill a peasant.
You hate this number so much, don't you?
Anybody that plays Warcraft 3 should say, oh my god, he's gonna cancel the upgrades.
Ooh, that's a lot of upgrades that he prevents, indeed.
He's gonna get resources back, boys. It's fine.
Yeah, but
Well, yeah, you need the upgrade.
yeah, I was about to say, like, you kind of need the damage and the armor. We get Master Banshees, by the way. Is WFZ now styling on Chaemiko by taking over?
No, he had 70 supply. It's the best thing he can do. It's just, it's pretty cheap. He's got the ultimate on an army. This is it. Fiends, Banshees, a few A-bombs, a few destroyers.
Really? I thought that was Frostworms with Unholy Frenzy.
Now, you've been watching too many happy FFA games, apparently.
No, he only does troll builds.
Did you see that when he was blocking with the Invis
Yeah.
11 footman?
It's so silly. And the guys are like, what is going on? My game is bugged. And he's like, no, it's not. You know, I had a game like that against Moon once. Okay, wait, there's a fight.
Oh, Big Nova.
I was playing Moon in practice. There was a bunch of observers. And every time I crept a big turtle in the center of Turtle Rock, there was no item. So I asked Moon, what is going on? Is the map, like, wrong or something? And he told me it's a bug. He had a demon invis stealing all the items. What a guy.
Yeah. He's doing well in this tournament. Where are you, bro?
Losing to every creep lord against random European undeads. $61 supply, actually. Chaemiko didn't do too bad of building up a decent army count, but if his knights get stolen... Are Banshees actually master?
They are master, yep. We got a little bit of a nuke here. The gyros in the fight not getting too webbed, actually. Water Elementals take care of these Banshees for now. I don't think we see possession yet. There's a lot of mana, actually. Could do it. Level 4 on the Lich, finally. Oh, nuke on the Paladin. There is Divine Shield for now. Could need a staff very soon. Oh, DK in trouble. Focus fire. No, wait. You're not allowed to lose this boy.
You almost had the Holy Light there. Wow. Pally
Nova.
goes down, though.
Bye-bye. All of a sudden, Chaemiko down to 40 supply. WFZ lost quite a bit as well. Absolute slaughter there in front of the base. Everything's hurt now. Paladin gone. And the hero levels are looking better and better and better for WFC.
Yeah, Chaemiko still has no wood. This is crazy.
Got a mortar team.
What? To counter Banshees?
No. He stole a mortar team.
Oh, he stole one?
Yeah.
If Chaemiko wins this game, by the way, this would be crazy.
Yep. But to be honest, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Are you serious? WZ is about to blood castle this nerd, man.
Yeah, but I mean, Chaemiko can pull out some cool moves to, and WFZ.
You mean hero targets?
For example, at WFZ, like throwing games, he's done this before.
Didn't Chaemiko do that against 120? I think on this map too. It was either Chaemiko or Sok a while back. Like he won a series against 120. Just targeting heroes.
Yeah, it might not be the best idea. But okay. Still so much gold. Waiting for the Paladin. WFZ about to push again. Closing out this game. Chaemiko is scouting for expansions, but there are none. We should be about to mine this out. Or to deplete the gold mines, I guess. Oh, next hero nuke. And without a Paladin, there's no Holy Light. Oy, sweet transfer of that potion.
I think finally it's happening.
Yep.
Coil Nova finding more and more kills. Oh, that's a lot of gyros webbed also. Pally finds himself under attack right away.
Another possession on another mortar team. Undead Army finally with some good siege units, and that's GG. WFZ stays in the tournament, turns this around. Two very one-sided series. Good to see the bright face of, or the bright side of WFZ's play here.
What's the last map?
Northern Isles.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, it's also not the easiest map against the DK harass.
It's Chaemiko's pick, though.
Bring out the Crypt Lord.
That would be a crazy surprise now if suddenly he plays Crypt Lord. Pretty sure Chaemiko wouldn't be expecting that.
It's kind of a, like, this series so far, it's kind of a testament to the matchup in general, right? Map 1, the harass doesn't work and the human is able to unfold his game. Map 2, the harass does work and the undead can unfold his game. And so we end up with the 1-1.
Yep, that's at the moment what we're all about. Fast expansion. Live or die by the Fast Expo. For a while, humans were playing one base inner fire rifles. But ever since the nerf, nobody wants to do it anymore. Well, even before that, barely anybody was doing that on netties anymore. So now it's all about Knight's gyros. We haven't seen tanks in a while in this matchup, I feel like.
Yeah, well, when you see them there, it's also just a few tanks being mixed in, because you're already getting the upgrades anyway to upgrade the flying machines. And tanks are just a unit to say, basically, like, well, if you make units to fight more army, then you won't have wagons. And if you make wagons to counter the tanks, then fine, the tanks are still going to do a little bit of damage, then you're going to have this useless unit for the fight.
Yeah. And in general, at the moment, tanks are just too slow. Problem is, you're under so much pressure. By the time you reach tier 3, you don't have the luxury of going tanks. In most cases. I mean, on AZ, he could have played tanks, but on AZ, he could have played a lot.
Yeah, not even Fortitude is playing tanks anymore, and that says a lot. Like in the match against TH, I think he didn't go for tanks once.
Against TH? Ah, he was playing Undead, right?
Yeah.
So we had both players have a very strong early game in the previous game. So I want to have an equal early game this time to see who wins.
So what's an equal early game? 3 peasant kills?
Yeah, something like that. And then like the Death Knight takes a bunch of damage, Kana is forced to go home and creep a little bit, and then the game stabilizes, and then Undead starts pushing again.
Yeah, would be pretty cool to have an equal game right now. But on Northern Isles, how likely is that really? I mean, we saw the 6 skeleton push here a lot by 1-2-0.
Yeah.
And that is so hard to hold.
There is an argument to be made because of that opening for humans to instant expand, but they never do it. Why is that?
Well, because there is an Acolyte scouting. If Undead sees that you straight expand, they just send a Death Knight there and then you've lost the game.
But why? Like, he has no aura, he has like 3 coils, and he has only a few skeletons.
Okay, well, you try that, and then you're going to see what 3 coils and few skeletons is going to do after you lose 10 peasants in a row. And then your Archmage, too. Maybe you can try to kill 15 Ziggurats. So you can have a 20% chance to win.
Death Note. Creating memes left, right, and center. No, not about memes here. It's about survival as we go into game 3 between Chaemiko and WFZ. Whoever loses this game is out of the hottest tournament of the summer. Will not have a shot at the $70,000. If Chaemiko drops here, we get an even race distribution, as we have Alice for the Night Elves eliminated, Lingwagwa for the Orcs eliminated, X-Lord for the Undeads eliminated, or it will be 2 Undeads, cementing the fact that they are the weakest race.
Oh god.
No one laughing. Alright. So, is it Crypt Lord time or not? We guess not. Chaemiko upper right in the blue, WFZ bottom left in the red.
What do you guys think about Happy not playing these tournaments? It's kind of sad, obviously, but he would have been able to do well, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's happy, so probably. But sad because of the ping. and those conditions didn't want to. So we're gonna have to wait until WGL. No, EPT.
Yeah. And the price pool apparently, like, is hard to get paid.
It does take some time, but you get it for sure. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's standard for it to take some time, but I've heard that, like, apparently some organizers, they'd say that, like, you need a Chinese bank account in order to get paid, otherwise you can't get the money transferred.
No.
That sounds ridiculous.
No, that's not true. But
So let's AM first here once again. MK first used to be a thing in this matchup, but too unreliable, too weak, especially against the tier 2 push of Lich, Fiends, Statues. Oh, look at that Acolyte, dude. He dislikes those crates just as much as you do, ToD.
He's helping the human. Like, sometimes you're gonna get trapped around here as the human. Why is he taking that out?
Maybe he just looks for some things to do here. Once again, no instant expansion. Claws of attack, pretty damn good for Chaemiko.
And WZ's not going for the standard creep route. He's not going for claws into the other green, but rather going for the small green first. I don't like that. That means if he doesn't land the coils to steal last hits, he's going to be far behind in experience.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna rely on the skeletons, I guess, to do a lot anyway, with that second rod, which I assume he's gonna get.
I think Undeads overrate doing damage while the human is expanding at this gold mine. The most important thing, I believe, is going for... he's going for that green camp now. Is killing peasants. So he's not going to be in time over here. So he's still creeping level 2 with a DK. But because this camp is all medium armor, these camps are, whereas the others have some heavy armor, whereas the others have some medium armor. This is a slower level 2 for the DK. He's not going to get claws. He's getting replenishment potion. That's pretty nice.
He was probably hoping for lightning shield.
This is so slow, though. This is way slower than the other creep route.
So is there an upside to it?
I think only if you get lightning shield, you're pretty happy. But other than that, like Sentry Wards, illusion wouldn't do a lot. I guess potion's nice. You can just kind of go in there, tank a lot of the damage with the Death Knight, and then replenish. But he needs to deal like a lot of damage onto those peasants now.
Oh, there's one bouncer footy.
Oh, we saw this before by Blade, right?
Yes.
Oh, that was...
And there is some surround potential here for Chaemiko. I think he's very good at it too.
Oh, the bouncer was asleep. So the skeleton gets through. And the slaughter begins, usually. But not too many kills yet.
It's only one peasant going down. One peasant and one footy.
There's the second one. Saves the third one into the gold mine. Let's see for how long. There's the kill.
Quick repair on the tower. That was important.
Gets level 3.
3 peasants down. That's not too bad.
There we go. That's what we asked for.
Damn! Yeah, exactly, right? 3 peasants down, little bit of damage of the DK, but not too much. Okay. We get an even game right now.
Lumber's not looking that hot for Chaemiko. Ideally, he would like to tech, like, kind of in a few seconds, and then funnel in, defend after.
WFZ is gonna steal that camp on... No. Okay, he changed his mind. I think he wants to weaken the wood economy again.
Is that walled off? I'm not sure. Doesn't look like it. That's a weird push. Towards the main.
Yeah, I think he's hoping that Chaemiko was very far away from his base and take a long time to come back. That wasn't really the case.
Right. Tier 2 done. Lich on the way. Statues hopefully a little faster than on Concealed. No tower in the base. This could be an opening there if the expansion is too fortified. Looking for more trouble.
Chaemiko needs to tech.
Did he have the... Okay. Did now, I guess.
There we go.
The SimCity on his expo is going to be key as well. It's crazy how it's like such a neglected part of this matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Infi, it's so clear cut. Like he builds perfect bases that look like unsiegeable. And then you look at other humans, it's like all over the place. Like there's an arcane way too far at the front that just dies. Guard towers in the back that are not even shooting when the other ones are being attacked. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, the way it was on AZ was beautiful. The shop and the blacksmith block away from the towers, so the fiends have a really tough time reaching.
But it's one of the easiest maps to execute it on.
Yeah,
like it's much harder on this, Last Refuge, Echo Isle.
But I think you don't even have to fully wall off here. Like if you just build like a straight wall with at the expansion with shop and blacksmith, like then the unit has to come in from the side, then you can flank him maybe with militia.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly on AZ it's the best.
You don't need to fully close it, but yeah, those buildings just gonna need to be in front, and the towers need to be clumped up together so that they all shoot.
Do you miss Ancient Isles walling off the expo with 2 farms?
I think it was a terrible map, to be honest, so no.
Yeah. Agreed.
So there was quite some time for Chaemiko where he wasn't harassed at all. Little skirmishes in the middle. And now WFZ using his tier 2 strength for creeping the middle. Wand of the Wind again.
I guess, by the way, we're cheering for WFZ because I think it's an easier match for Foggy, no?
Should both be... I think Foggy is not fearing one of these opponents. Should definitely be fine, but Wand of the Wind used par excellence, forcing a town portal with just 1 charge of that item and preventing any kind of pushes into WFZ's base.
Should he commit these footies, sacrifice them all to buy more time? That's a really tough call to make right now. Oh, that's a Nova right there. And level 3 DK? Not quite. Chaemiko bought a lot of time for himself. His MK should be almost out.
I wonder what's the plan for WFZ, because he played a little bit weird earlier with like trying a destroyer push the first game and then not really committing to it. In the second game he was just so far ahead that it almost didn't matter. But it seems to be like what he likes to do. Get that third statue, go for the destroyer. This is the towers I'm talking about. Like why is he making 2 towers on the left? Like way back. If the first 2 towers of Chaemiko, the ones on the right side, get attacked, the other ones are not even going to necessarily be shooting.
Yeah, the wall also doesn't make much sense to me. Like, you can still shoot over that with fiends.
This is one of the biggest things that I think can be improved from like a lot of human players.
Does he have workshops coming up? Because he will need to. Destroyers will be coming soon, so will the Pit Lord. We have a Sanctum.
I assume Chaemiko will want to play the same style, yeah. And he doesn't have the wood for second workshop, I think.
This looks like quite a scary push, though. It's 4 towers, okay, but we got a Pit Lord, we got destroyers. There's no gyro out yet, no breaker out yet.
Yeah. MK needs to be fast with the Stormbolt against the Rain of Fire, I guess.
Not going for the towers, but takes out the shop. That would prevent any kind of breakers.
Chaemiko has to play very well at range here. Keep the footies close to threaten, but not too far in to die to the fiends. Very good positioning on this Pit Lord.
Yeah, man. The difference from the Rain of Fire from AZ to this now is a different tier.
Militia flank could be good, but I don't think there's many lumber peasants in the main. It's only like 5.
Both so low on lumber. Shop gone.
Yeah. He had to repair all this time as well. That smashed his lumber even more.
Chaemiko going for the Lich kill, but there's definitely a coil. There should be a coil, definitely. There we go.
Look at those guard towers. Aren't they helpful?
True, they don't do anything but
Oh my god.
WFZ coming in from the east, analyzing this nicely, and yeah, soon to be floodgates open. The guard tower's still not shooting. It's only the arcanes, which is no damage, just mana burn. Mountain King is in trouble, and with that, Chaemiko in trouble. Just holding on until tier 3. Here come the gyros, but wept immediately. Flying into a metal grinder, or whatever that is then.
Yeah, you need to pull them, not rally them wherever, you know, they're flying into the demise. Of course, easy to say. You know, there's so many things going on. Stressful game for Chaemiko. He's trying to hold on. He's trying to get his tech rolling. But this expansion is looking under a lot of pressure.
Maybe Snokis was right after all. Arcane Tower's gone, so now the Guard Towers can do something, but the Expo looks like it's kind of wrecked. MK comes in again with a couple of breakers, so maybe another shop here. Coil on the Destroyer saves that one, takes care of the Water Elemental immediately, which is new mana. Is the Paladin the savior here?
That big mana potion making a massive difference. Needs to come in with the Militia and the Paladin. Now everything is being brought. It's not that much though, to be honest.
There is more coil. There's again a Wand of the Wind. That was pretty nice. No Holy Light. He's aiming for the Archmage's throat. There's a coil! But the town portal's out. Chaemiko holding on by a thread here.
That wasn't too bad. A lot of
he has no more
remained
shop.
alive.
I think he rebuilt the shop, though, on the right-hand side, right?
Oh, did he?
Otherwise, I wonder where the two breakers are coming from. Maybe they were queued already, but I'm kind of sure he rebuilt the shop there.
Yeah. Usually when you're about to lose your shop, if you're making breakers, you queue a lot of them immediately.
Okay. It's like 4 or 5 now.
Oh, the gyros again. He wasn't looking.
That's a big mistake.
WFZ played this really well. He every time engaged into the Expo and said, "You gotta fight me right now. You can't wait, because otherwise you're losing all of your peasants." And then Chaemiko is just taking fights that he doesn't want to be taking every time. He's not ready yet. He doesn't have enough.
There's not much mana on WFC anymore. There should be a coil now. And the Lich is standing next to the statues. Okay. Pretty much do or die for Chaemiko, right? 50 supply. 1 heroes here, though. It's looking rough for the human.
Yeah, I like going for the town hall as well, so he doesn't have to run inside of the towers. Just use Rain of Fire, Force Repair. Like, he already has no... Oh, he didn't have Wood Force pretty much the entire game.
Chaemiko going in for the flank, aiming for that Lich. There is a coil. I'm not sure if there's one left. He continues to focus the heroes over and over, and that is the kill. He trades it for the Paladin, so the Holy Light is gone, but the Orb of Corruption and the Nova and the Frost Armor. Chaemiko, is that your opening? It's a lot of damage on these breakers, but he retreats again to heal up a little.
Yeah, I think WFZ forgot to use Frost Armor here. Oh yeah, the pressure is still on. Does he instant rebuy? Looks like not.
No. Revives at the altar. Paladin is soon to be back.
Yeah, Disease Cloud on the way. That's a big upgrade against this style.
Sends the Abomination to the peasants. Not much income anymore for Chaemiko. More and more right clicks on this town hall. Ooh, the Rain of Fire is good. Go through. Pitlord missing as a tank in the front, but he has that Abomination. 2 Abominations actually. And again the gyros not pooled. Losing a Fiend here now. Alright. But the breakers are falling as well. Good focus fire even without the Lich. Now the Paladin is back. He brings the police. Can he fight him back? Holy Light, so important. Definitely not the necessary levels on Chaemiko's heroes, but he's standing against his defense here. Losing another knight.
He's trying to keep the mana down on the Death Knight so that then he can nuke either units or heroes. Ideally, you want to have the knights spread out on fiends. If they have Sundering Blades, they take them out very quickly, and then you just target. You remove all of the mana on the Death Knight, then you target, like, let's say, the Lich, for example, up first. Because it's the squishiest hero.
It worked quite well. That was the only fight without the Lich, though. Triple hero is up, but not much more, and the Lich is back in this fight. Could make a pit stop, actually, at the shop to get something, but the resources are low. Another Rain of Fire pretty much prevents repair. Chaemiko's finding decent timings to engage so the Town Hall doesn't fall, but for how much longer? Holy Light on the Mountain King. He was heavily nuked. There's the coil. Uh-oh. Chaemiko, are you out of this tournament now? What do you do without the stun? Another coil hits. Destroyer stays alive. Dispels immediately. 15 supply lead.
This looks like the end. Chaemiko nowhere near fighting shape. The expansion once again about to fall. So far down in experience and supply.
How long can Chaemiko still engage? He used a lot of militia already. A lot of stuff is dying already. Mountain King is gone. Is this just the end for the Expo?
Yeah. And behind this, WFZ is preserving his unit count super well in the fights with Death Coil, pulling back units, letting Unholy Orion statues do their work. Chaemiko getting desperate is going to take a fight, but I think that's going to be it. And I think the Paladin and Mountain King both will end the game on level 1.
Inward Potion on the Lich. He should be safe despite the surround. Doesn't help him here at all. And the Paladin dies. Oh, actually be staffed. But yeah, Holy Light missing. There should be a coil soon with this. Chaemiko trying to use his biggest weapons, the surrounds. But as long as there's coils and frost armor, that doesn't really help him. Seems it's just a matter of time.
Chaemiko had been able to, before at WGL, to make it to the top 8. This time around, doesn't seem to be going that well. Expo is gone. AM is dead.
GG, and Chaemiko is out. One player of each race eliminated in the Gold League after day 4. And WFZ with the horrendous start to this tournament, to this series. Nothing was going his way, but we get the rematch of WFZ versus Foggy for the playoffs. And Snowkiss was right all along.
I guess she was. Weird series. There was 3 one-sided maps. Live or die by the expansion once again.
Honestly, props to WSZ for staying focused after that game 1, because that would have been tilted off the face of the earth. Like, he killed 0 peasants during their harass, got absolutely obliterated. And then he said, you know what? Just a couple mishap. Let's just stay in it, play better and win, and he did just that.
Maybe a small mistake by Chaemiko was bringing too many militia to the expansion and not having enough in the main. Then the lumber suffered. The tier 2 was later. The tier 3 was later. It wasn't big mistakes, though. It wasn't glaring errors. Sad to see him go so early when, you know, he had looked so promising before. But it's WFZ, not completely disappointing in 1 WGL.
It's not sad. We already got 2 humans in the top 8. I'm sorry, Chaemiko. You were a necessary sacrifice. We're gonna get 100 or in health.
Yeah, and Sock is still in the race for the playoffs as well. Chaemiko, once again eliminated for the 4th time in 5 participations. It was the question going in, who's going to be the best Korean human? It's definitely Sock now. And yeah, let's recap the brackets real quick, as tomorrow it's do or die day in WGL. In Group A, we got 120 versus Sock. In Group B, we got Colorful versus Lin. In Group C, unfortunately, we don't have X-Lord, but Focus versus Fly. And in Group D, we get the rematch of Foggy versus WFZ.
We have quite a few favorites there. On paper, at least. But who knows how it's going to shake out. Today, we're supposed to have a lot of close games, and they turned out to be one-sided. So, let's see how it goes.
Indeed. That's pretty much it for the games today. Todd, thank you very much for joining us for 2 games for the human expertise. We will have more player insights as Neutron will be up for the pre-show. I guess you're busy now, Todd, right? With some coaching?
Yes. Thank you for having me, and see you later.
See you later, indeed. We go to the stage in Shanghai once again. I'm not sure if we get a winner's interview. Usually they don't do that for the lower bracket matches. So I guess that it's from Shanghai as well. Remo, you will take a break for the post-show, I guess?
Yep.
Alright, he's gonna be back later for the ESL Meisterschaft Group B. And yeah, tomorrow's matchup, we start again at noon. 120 versus Sock, Colorful versus Lin, Focus versus Fly, and WFZ versus Foggy. I'm gonna call Neutron now after a tiny little break, and then we discuss all the matches in detail.